If you are waking up at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big story that we are tracking, every factual detail here on NDTV. At 1:44 a.m. this morning, the Indian government, the Indian Army has confirmed that India has hit back Operation Sindoor, under which nine terror bases in Pakistan have been hit across at least 4 cities, 2 in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and the terror headquarters of Bahawalpur and Muridke in the Punjab province of Pakistan. This is as deep as India has hit against the terror infrastructure of Pakistan. My colleagues and I are completely, in fact, at this moment, giving you minute-by-minute factual, verified information coming in, from our government sources, from the Indian government. And what we can also tell you is that India took 2 weeks. We have chosen our time. We have chosen our places. India has hit back at Pakistan's terror infrastructure. Importantly, none of the Pakistan's civilian areas, neither the military complexes have been hit in these strikes. My colleague Maria Shakil also with us this morning. Maria, this was something that was being anticipated. There was a build-up. There were very important meetings which the Prime Minister was taking every day in the last 10-12 days. And the result is for not just for Pakistan, but the world to see we will hunt down terrorists no matter where they are.
Absolutely. And it has happened at 1:44 a.m., Ankit. We can tell our viewers that the press release came from the Ministry of Defense. And this entire operation is called Operation Sindoor, which has been carried out by Indian Army. Under this operation, the Army has hit terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, from where terrorist attacks were being carried out. That's what the official press release has said. And the official press release clearly says, and this is important to highlight and underline, viewers, that no Pakistani military facilities have been targeted. So it's a targeted precision with which entire operation has been carried out. India has demonstrated considerable restraint. It's important to highlight again here that considerable restraint has been practiced by India in the selection of targets and the method of execution. And the operation, remember, has been, it is India's response. And India has taken time. Questions were being raised, but India decided to hit back only on terror bases inside Pakistan. And as Ankit was pointing out, that this is a very structured, very planned attack which has happened. It is India hitting back. Its right to defense, right to protect its citizens, and a sovereign right which India enjoys. We have Shiv Arur, who has been breaking details of this entire story since 2 a.m. when it all began. Let me bring in Shiv again. Shiv, at 10 a.m. is we can now tell our viewers is when the Indian Army will be doing the press conference.
That's correct, Maria. 10 a.m. is when the Indian Army will be holding that press conference, but we do have a confirmation now that this operation was an Indian Army, Indian Air Force joint operation. We've been reporting extensive details of what we know so far, that the missile strikes were basically air-launched missiles from Indian Air Force, Rafales flying in Indian airspace, but this was in coordination, obviously, with the Indian Army on the ground. There is no suggestion to understand whether the Indian Army also launched any surface-to-surface weapons. It is possible, but again, that would be conjecture at this point of time. Hopefully at 10 a.m. the Indian Army and the Air Force will put out enough information that paints a realistic picture, because as you've seen, Maria and Ankit, in the last hour or so, the sheer volume of misinformation, claims and counterclaims coming in from the Pakistani side about, either downplaying the damage on their side or trying to create an impression of a retaliation from the Pakistan side is huge. It's voluminous. There's a lot of fake news busting that's already taking place. But Pakistan's playbook, very much learned from China, means try and flood the narrative with as much unverifiable information as possible to muddy the waters. The Indian Army will be holding that press conference the entire Indian political establishment is definitely up. We've seen many ministers tweeting as well. We're awaiting a word from the Prime Minister himself. Remember, the last time we heard from him as far as the attacks were concerned is after that meeting with the three chiefs where he gave them the operational freedom to do so. Last night at a media event, he had talked about the water wars with Pakistan. Mock drills were scheduled for today, an air power drill in Rajasthan, all of it creating, Maria and Ankit, a sort of curtain of subterfuge and confusion around Pakistan. And that's one of the reasons perhaps why, despite brandishing and rattling their air defense systems, claiming to be completely prepared for any kind of attack by India, the Indian Air Force and Army have been able to send missiles deep into Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as well as Pakistan. Places near Sialkot and Muridke, which are inside Pakistan proper, have been struck. The mothership of terror, whether it is the Jaish-e-Mohammed or the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Bahawalpur to Muridke, Chakoti to Muzaffarabad, these are big fat terror targets. These are the nerve centers that govern and administer the entire Pakistan-sponsored terror machinery in POK as well as in Pakistan. So to choose those targets and to hit them is not just symbolic, it is really, really to hit the backbone of terror. The details hopefully will emerge soon.
Yes, so India has hit the backbone of terror. I think that's the right phrase which has been used by Shiv right now. Let me bring in Vishnu as well. Vishnu, we can tell our viewers that now for civilians, the Srinagar airport has been shut. What now, Vishnu, as far as the air travel is concerned, particularly for the residents of Jammu and Kashmir? And also, if you can give us a sense of how is the air traffic moving across India?
Well, air traffic movement across India at the moment is looking all right. This is information that we do have, which is confirmed, that air traffic across India is moving all right. Pakistani airspace has likely been shut. When I checked about 5 minutes back, there was just one odd flight over Pakistan, but all normal flights are taking place into India. Now, there have been a couple of Indigo has announced that flights into Ladakh, into Leh, have been impacted. There are some flights into Rajasthan, particularly along the border, which may have been impacted as well. So it's important for our viewers, in case you're traveling, to check. The Indigo statement says, due to changing airspace conditions in the region, our flights to and from Srinagar, Jammu, Amritsar, Leh, Chandigarh and Dharamsala are impacted. Flights from Bikaner are also impacted by the current airspace restrictions. Adding to what we've been reporting so far, in terms of the strikes themselves, 2 of them at least are deep within Pakistan. These are not shallow strikes at all. And the belief is that precision strike weapons were used, including long-range cruise missiles, to hit these terror centers in Bahawalpur and Muridke. There have been targets in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as well. The scope of these attacks, the nature of the attacks, the size of the mission itself, considerably larger than what we've seen in 2019 in Balakot, where primarily one target was struck. On this particular occasion, there have been multiple targets, and there is video available on the ground which shows that the strikes have taken place. This has been acknowledged by Pakistan itself. Pakistan says that they do have the right to respond. This is a statement which has been made by the Pakistani Prime Minister himself. India, in the course of the last, I would suggest, 2 hours or so, has reached out to several foreign countries. Remember, the attack took place at about 1:44 a.m. We have reached out to the United States, to the United Arab Emirates, to the United Kingdom, to Russia as well, in terms of briefing them that, look, this is what we've taken place, what has taken place, this is what we've done. India making it absolutely clear that, look, we have nothing to hide over here. We're very clear about what we have done, and this is what it is. There have been a couple of very early reactions coming in from foreign countries as well. The United Arab Emirates, for example, urging restraint at this particular juncture. Their foreign minister is saying that. As we've been reporting, it's at 10 a.m. that we'll expect a full-fledged briefing of the Indian Army. It is a joint operation, we are learning, between the Air Force and the Army. The role of the Army unclear at this stage. Remember, the Army does operate surface-to-surface missiles. The BrahMos at this stage, we are unclear if those were used, but our sources indicating that the Indian Air Force and the Scalp missiles, their cruise missiles, were used. Just that foreign reaction which I was telling you about, the UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed, has called for restraint between India and Pakistan. The UAE, one among several nations who have been briefed by India on what's taken place.
And now we can tell our viewers of where India has hit Pakistan. This is the backbone of terror. And let's highlight it very clearly, and what India has been reiterating, that none of the civilian military bases have been targeted. So India's target has been precise, it has been chosen with immense precision. It is focused, and they were measured, responsible and designed to non-escalatory nature is what India is saying. No Pakistani civilian, economic or military targets have been hit. Only known terror camps have been hit. And now we have for our viewers, and Shiv, come in now on this. Let's break it down for our viewers and go one by one with each and every 9 targets which have been hit by India. We are starting with Murid K and Bahawalpur. The significance of these two places, Shiv.
Maria, Murid K is the headquarters of the largest facility and the headquarters of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and the Jamaat-ud-Dawa of Hafiz Mohammad Saeed is one of 2 principal terror organizations of Pakistani origin targeting India. The other is Bahawalpur, which is a city in POK, which has also been in Pakistan, which has also been targeted. That is the headquarters of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. 2 targets in Muzaffarabad in POK have also been targeted. Gulpur, Bhimbar, Chakamru, Kotli, and a camp near the Pakistani city of Sialkot in Pakistani Punjab are basically accounting for the 9 targets that have been struck. Like you rightly said, no economic or Pakistan military targets have been hit. Every one of these targets are said to have been either terror seminaries or terror infrastructure of some kind, possibly also the headquarters of both the Jamaat-ud-Dawa / Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed. But once again, that information is still unverified right now. The nature of the targets and damage only coming in through images from these cities, but the nature, the death toll, casualties and nature of damage is still coming in. Remember, very important to note that the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army and the Indian Navy, Maria and Ankit, this is a new piece of information now. We are confirming from our sources that this was a tri-service operation conducted by the Indian Army, the Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy. All 3 services have used weapons. We do know what weapons were used by the Indian Air Force: Scalp and Hammer, precision-guided long-range weapons. What weapons were used by the Indian Navy at sea and the Indian Army on land are unclear right now, but I've just received a confirmation that this Operation Sindoor is a tri-service operation. Pakistan was hit from different sides, not just from the air, but possibly also from land and sea. Which of those targets were hit will emerge hopefully at about 10 a.m. Till then, we can only speculate as to what the nature of the damage and the targets on the ground really were. But images still coming in, Maria.
That's a big piece of information, Shiv, that you're breaking right now at 4:12 a.m. on NDTV. That it was a tri-service operation. So all 3 forces, the Army, the Air Force, the Indian Navy have struck together. That's the way it was all coordinated and planned. Shiv, go ahead. Give us more details. We are highlighting it on the map. 9 places struck by Indian armed forces. It was a tri-service Army, Air Force, Navy operation. Earlier we were told it was a joint operation of Air Force and Army. Now Shiv giving us that detail that it was a tri-service operation in which the Indian Navy was always also involved. Go ahead, Shiv, give us more details.
This is a milestone military action, Maria, that we're breaking here on NDTV. A tri-service missile strike on Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir targets by the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force confirms that this is perhaps the largest non-war military strike by India against Pakistan in our entire history. The use of the Indian Air Force's Rafales, the Indian Army's surface assets and the Indian Navy's warships can now be confirmed that this was a tri-service coordinated strike by the three arms of the Indian services against those Pakistani targets. It has taken only 2 weeks of planning to conduct this strike. That should also be noted. The targets were consistently, and specifically chosen to send out a message as far as Pakistani terror is concerned. India, as a responsible nation, making it very clear that it has decided not to attack economic or Pakistan military targets because it believes that it does not want to escalate the situation, but does want to impose punitive damages that are not merely symbolic, but actually hit the backbone of terror. These seminaries, these headquarters, these targets that have been struck, the details of which will emerge hopefully very shortly, will show that terrorist infrastructure, the actual connective tissue and the brains of how terrorism is conducted against India has hopefully been damaged, hopefully beyond repair at this point of time. But a tri-service strike, Operation Sindoor, is the big breaking story right now.
And this is for the first time it has happened in a non-war situation, Shiv?
That is correct. Non-war. We've never seen a tri-service operation of this kind. Remember, in Kargil, even though the Kargil, of course, was an open conflict and a declaration of combat between the two sides. But even during other operations, we've largely seen coordinated efforts between the Army and the Air Force, or either the Army or the Air Force. Balakot was entirely the Air Force, conducting the bombings. The Uri strikes were the Army Special Forces on the front line with Air Force surveillance as backup. This time you've got all three services on the front line. We can confirm that missiles of all three services have basically hit targets. The Indian Navy, we are told, was very, very insistent on wanting to be part of this operation for operational reasons, not for anything else. And remember that the Indian Navy also lost an officer in this terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Maria. These may seem like small details given the larger aspect of what is going on, but the Indian Navy has clearly, in a professional manner, been part of this operation. Many will also see this as retaliation for, Lieutenant Vinay Narwal, the young officer who was killed on his honeymoon. Those images of his wife had gone viral as well. The emotional aspect can never be ignored, but this was a professionally conducted, fully vetted choice of targets with the three armed forces involved, making it, I would dare say, I would hazard a guess and say this is the largest non-war military action India has ever taken. Never before have we seen coordinated kinetic action by all three armed forces at the same time on Pakistani targets, Maria.